Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, April 18th at 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. Southwest Airlines flights resume after the FAA requested ground stop because of computer glitches, grounding thousands of flights. It could be due to the sun. But the big story, multi-day U.S. severe weather threat will continue through the weekend. Keep calm. It's boom time. Severe thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night. Hail, downpours, isolated tornadoes, damaging wind gusts of up to 65 miles per hour. Could gust to 75 in Des Moines, Kansas City, and Wichita. Heads up from Dallas all the way up to Wisconsin all day tomorrow. And then Thursday afternoon through Thursday night, that severe threat, which is moderate, moves east. Chicago to Dallas, could be hails. There could be large hail, downpours, isolated tornadoes, damaging winds to 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour on Thursday. And the severe weather threat continues through the weekend. Saturday afternoon into Sunday, torrential rainfall on the East Coast, hail, isolated tornadoes, and damaging winds that could gust as high as 80, according to AccuWeather. So, significant weather this spring coming this week. Ding, dang. Here's the snowfall analysis from the last 72 hours. Big winter chicken dinner, Wisconsin, with 2 regions with 18 inches or more. And the heaviest snow totals over the last 72 hours were 5 feet. In western Washington. Yeah, that's the Olympic Peninsula, I believe. Spring 2023 frost freeze alerts are now being issued. And according to this idiot, it's despite the growing season not yet officially underway. Now, what they mean by officially is commercial farming. But you and I all know I've been planting here now for weeks, and we are in one of the lowest grow zones in the United States. So there are millions of people that already started planting seeds. And frost and freeze alerts are important. In fact, frost and freeze alerts are in effect for West Virginia, Western PA, all of Ohio, Northern Indiana, and Southern Michigan. So heads up, if you have put sensitive plants out, they need to be covered. Severe storms and fire weather threats in the plains. You can see those pink regions. That's all. That bright pink there, those are all red flag warnings. Now, a frontal system will bring potential for severe storms with large to gigantic hail, damaging winds, and locally heavy rain from the South Plains to the Midwest. Gusty, dry winds will keep fire weather threats elevated to critical in the South and Central High Plains, and heavy snow continues for parts of the Northwest Mountains to the Northern Plains. Heavy rain may cause flooding in Hawaii, as well as the flood warnings are up, not for the Big Island, but for the rest of them. Now let's take a look at the upper 48, and you can see by Wednesday morning an explosion of severe weather here in Kiss My, Nebraska. And that's going to move through Iowa Wednesday afternoon. So heads up, Iowa. That will then move into Wisconsin by Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And then another severe weather threat pops up in the northern plains there. Minnesota, say it ain't soda, into Wisconsin. Well, when this low pressure is going to bomb out and bring more heavy snow to Ontario, hello, as well as northern Minnesota. And let's take a look at those snowfall totals, shall we? Here is Wednesday through Thursday morning. You can see a wide area of 16 inches up there. I think that's Saskatchewan and North Dakota, and that's going to move to the east and dump a heavy swath of snow Thursday and Friday in northern Minnesota. So heads up. Also some heavy snow in the Cascades and some more moderate snow in the high elevations in the Sierras. This pattern is going to continue with heavy snow coming to Ontario Sunday and Monday. I believe that's true. Yes, Sunday and Monday. And northern Michigan could be picking up some lake effect there, as well as New England, especially Vermont, New Hampshire, and the Adirondacks. More snow, ho, 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 as we enter spring. Ding, ding. Seismic update, no quakes of note. Another huge rumbler here, 5.6 in Russia. I wonder if that is an explosion from one of the volcanoes there. It's looking a little too close to shore here. Let's get a few layers on here. Let's take a look at the satellite. Yeah, there are tons of volcanoes right here. And another big rumbler, 5.6 in Russia, could lead to more explosive things coming in the future. Wow. That is a new development there. We also had an interesting rumbler from deep well fracking in Carlsbad, New Mexico, with an aftershock, and another earthquake up here in Segundo, Colorado, which was felt by no one, apparently. No other quakes of note. Here we have a 6.6 in the Fiji Islands. Take a look at that. There was no tsunami warning that I'm aware of. Nope. So that's good news. This quake was at 60 kilometers, and in fact, where did it go? Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, not near anybody. In the middle of nowhere. So that's good news. No other quakes of note as we continue to monitor the situation. There was an uptick in the last 24 hours in Iceland offshore in the Tyrannus fracture zone here. You can see where the star is. That means a quake above 3 magnitude. In fact, it was a 4.2. Who knew? Well, now you do. But a large seismic swarm in the Tyrannus fracture zone, about 100 quakes just happening in the last 24 hours. We'll keep a close eye on that for you as we move over to worldwide volcano news. Popo, Semaru, Ducono, Reventador, Sangay, and we don't have Shivalush on the map anymore. Good news. Popo puffing to 20,000, Semaru to 14,000, Ducono 7,000 feet, Sangay to 24,000, and Liwotolol, the effusive eruption at the volcano continues. Fuego to 14, Sabancaya to 24, and Nevado de Ruiz in Colombia, sustained explosive activity. So them's are the facts. As we come over for a space weather update, the sun is quiet during solar max, dropping down into low C range. The sunspots are facing Earth, but they are doing nothing, which is good news. Now, we did have a stealth CME passage detected today, and that jumped the KP from 0 way up to 4.5, and it could have contributed to the grounding of thousands of flights with Southwest Airlines. Now, according to the officials, the FAA said Southwest Airlines experienced a technical issue with one of their internal systems. At the airline's request, the FAA paused Southwest departures as they resolved the issue. Now, there was a ground stop. That means almost all flights were stopped. And during the day, I think 36% of Southwest airline flights were delayed system-wide. That is a lot of flights. And we'll see more activity like this moving forward thanks to the sun. Now, one dead and multiple injured in a parking garage collapse in Lower Manhattan, which just happened. I'm sure many of you seeing the breaking news. A parking garage next to Pace University building partially collapsed in Lower Manhattan on Tuesday afternoon, leaving at least one person dead, 5 others injured, and crushing dozens of cars as concrete floors fell atop each other.
Garage collapsed in Lower Manhattan. We have several reporters covering all angles of this story tonight at the scene and at the hospital. We're going to begin with Eyewitness News reporter Injay Burkett. Injay?
Well, Sandra, what we had here at 4:15 this afternoon, so we're just over 2 hours into this, is a pancake collapse of a 4-story parking garage. The injured people who were inside were all workers. So there were 6 people who were injured in all of this. One of those workers, one of the 6, has died. 4 people were transported to local hospitals. One of them refused treatment at the scene. So the good news is that all who were believed to have been inside have now been accounted for. They are working through the scene right now very carefully to try to determine whether anybody was actually in any of the cars that were parked in the garage, Sandra. But because, you know, most parking garages work as the parking attendant takes your car and parks the car. So it is believed that no one was in any of the cars, but they can't be sure of that, so they've got to go and painstakingly look for anybody who may have been trapped. Again, all who were inside are now believed to have been accounted for. Search is ongoing, as I said, for anybody in the cars, and at this point, they do not know the cause, why this happened. They can't say. It's very, very early in the investigation.
Well, clearly it happened because the parking garage was faulty and they parked too many cars up there and the weight simply collapsed the building. So that's what happened. There's no conspiracy theory needed. We just need to fix the infrastructure in this country as it's crumbling. Now, have you heard of the Fukang Meteorite? Yeah, you could mispronounce that and get demonetized quite quickly. It's a beautiful rock that is out of this world and even partially transparent and translucent. This cosmic wonder is amazing. Now, back in 2000, a hiker was walking near the Fukang Mountains in China when he stumbled upon something spectacular, and it wasn't the Wu Flu. What is now known as the Fukang Meteorite is an incredible stony iron meteorite rock packed with honeycomb crystals. It is now the most famous meteorite in the frickin' world. But what makes it special? Well, it's a palisite meteorite. The Fukang meteor belongs to a rare class of meteorites known as palisites, which used to be called lithositerites. They are characterized by networks of nickel iron metal, which are set in crystals of the silicate mineral olivine. When cut and polished, palisites show off this impressive arrangement of translucent crystals, just like here, that tend to be green in color or yellow, but sometimes they have distinct yellow, brown, or gold hue that results from weathering while on Earth from olivine to siderite. Look at this. Due to the striking unusual appearance, palisites are regarded as one of the first recognized and accepted extraterrestrial minerals. And they provide a unique and important glimpse into the deep interior of our solar system. Or do they? Are they just reworked surface rocks from planets that have been blown into space? Well, the geochemistry supports that idea. So there is lots of paradigm shifting changes coming to science in the future. And one of the most intriguing and plagued with problems is the standard model of cosmology. Now, since the James Webb Space Telescope has been launched, it keeps finding galaxies that shouldn't exist. They shouldn't exist, according to scientists. 6 of the earliest and most massive galaxies that NASA's Breakthrough Telescope has seen so far appear to be bigger, larger, and more mature than they should have ever have been given where they are in the universe, according to scientists. They're too well-developed and too large to be that young. The new findings build on previous research where scientists reported that despite coming from the very beginnings of the universe, the galaxies were as mature as our own Milky Way. Hey. Now a new paper has appeared to confirm these findings by stress testing the galaxies to better understand how they formed. And it suggests that, well, if scientists have not made a mistake, cosmology is dead. And we are missing some of the most fundamental information about the universe. Yeah, how about this one? It's infinite, and the Big Bang is a made-up story. Ha! How you like them apples? Now, the solar eclipse and new moon in Aries are a recipe for explosive change. So if you're trying to get out of a rut, well, it's coming up. April 20th, 2023, just less than 2 days from now at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time makes the official start of the eclipse season. And this round of revelations is taking place on the Aries-Libra axis. And that means, well, explosive change, according to this article. If you'd like to know more about it, all the articles we talked about tonight will be linked below, as we always do. Now, we just put up an amazing documentary on our Rumble channel. It is an animated film that is called Beyond the Reset. So check it out, and I'll give you a sneak peek here tonight.
Attention. Important announcement. Dear residents of the quarantine facility number 89, great news. Here at Nova Gene Labs, we grant you a chance to participate in the trials of our new drug, which has been developed by our research team. This drug is absolutely safe and will bring the end to the deadly virus we are all fighting together for the last several years. Those of you who chose to participate will get a significant social credit score boost. As the result, you will be relocated to a superior isolation facility.
Sounds amazing. I wonder if there's free donuts and hot dogs. And that is a boom to knowledge. Don't believe the hype. Don't follow the tyrannical leaders that are, well, leading you to Al's hole. Shut up, Al. We love each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please share this video as we are shadow banned because we are telling you the truth. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom.